let's talk about how you get the information all about this business and these incredible memberships to your contacts. This is one of the most important trainings ever because most of us really mess this up to start with. Most of us, myself included, because nobody told me initially, we go out and we try to tell people about this. And that does not work. Quite honestly, when I first heard about prepaid legal, I was very, very negative. And the reason that I was negative was because I heard about it, I really didn't understand. I didn't understand it at all. So here is our number one objective in learning how to expose this business and this membership to our friends and family. We want them to get the complete story. We don't want to give them a piece. We don't want to give them a little bit because they'll make a judgment call on it, just like I did. I almost didn't do this. And I honestly was just terribly negative. So the goal here, and that's the whole training here, is put in place so that you can efficiently and effectively have people review the information that they need to review so they can check it out completely for themselves, so they can figure out if this is the right opportunity for them and if this is a membership that they would want to give it to try. So I will tell you this, what does not work. Brochures by themselves don't work. Don't go buy thousands of brochures thinking that's going to build your business. It has never worked in the 12 years we've been here. Brochures and flyers don't work. Now, they work along with other things to substantiate, to give detail or whatever, but they don't tell the story like you want it told. So our goal is to get the complete information package to people. Now, so the thing we want to do right now is to determine what's the most efficient way to get the information to the people on your list. And some of that will depend on if they're local or out of town or whatever, but basically it's all very, very easy. And thank goodness no one has to be able to, or be prepared to give a presentation to make this work. In fact, we don't want you to. Frank and I learned a long time ago that if we were the source of the information to our own personal prospects, that it doesn't work. We were sitting down, the last time we ever did that, the last time we did a complete presentation ourselves, we were sitting down at a Denny's restaurant with a very sharp couple. That couple gave us head nods. As Frank and I went through the presentation, I went through part of it, he went through part of it. We were just sitting there talking to him across a cup of coffee. And when we got through, we were just positive they were going to sign up because they gave us all the positive body language. They were nodding their heads, they were smiling, they were agreeing. But when we finished, they sat back and they looked at each other and they said, "This sounds good, but we could never do what you two just did." That blew Frank and I away. And we realized at that point in time, and thank goodness that was years and years ago, that we could not be the presentation for our personal prospects, that we had to use third party or it was not going to duplicate. So, thank goodness, that makes it easy for everybody. The method that you're about to see enables kids in college to make more than the professors, enables part-time people to start this and soon match their full-time income. It enables anyone who wants to build this business, no matter how busy their schedule is, to be able to do it, because they're not going to have to spend a long time with anybody. They're just going to introduce this to people, invite people to look at this information, and simply get back with them. The whole process is efficient, quick, and it works. The number one way to grow your business is to have a grand opening at your house. It's called a private business reception, and I like to refer to it as a grand opening because it is what you are doing. I mean, you're having a grand opening of your new business, and you're probably part-time, and that's great. This is your new part-time business, and you're having a grand opening. And the instructions for how to hold a private business reception, we're going to give you information on the details of putting that together. The thing that I want you to know up front is it's very simple. There's no baking. Nobody should smell food when they come in. But this is the best way to start your business. Everybody in the business that's growing the most is doing a lot of private business receptions in their organization. So that's simply where you invite your family and friends over, the people you really don't want to leave behind on this. They deserve to hear about this. I mean, when you're inviting people, your attitude has got to be, listen, you've just got to come check this out. It may or may not be for you, but I cannot leave you out of this. You've got to know about it. That's the attitude you've got to have when you're inviting people to this or to any of the other methods that we're going to show you in just a few minutes. And that is the truth. You want everybody to know about it. A grand opening works in your home or apartment or mobile home or wherever you live. Now, can you conduct them in hotel rooms? Can you conduct them in church halls? Can you conduct them in apartment clubhouses and things like that? Yeah, you can, but they don't work as well. In fact, I really don't like to do them in any of those places. The only place I want to do a private business reception is in your home. Some of the best ones we've ever done have been in very tiny apartments with people actually sitting on the stairwells and arms of couches to listen to the information. So wherever you live, that is the best place to have one. Otherwise, people are going to think they cannot duplicate it. The number one reason to have a private business reception, your own grand opening, is to set up more, to get that ball rolling. So get with the person who you're working with, your upline support person, and they're going to help you put yours together. And they can be there in person to help you conduct it, or they can actually call in on a speakerphone. We do these all over the country all the time, and it works great. Between that and having a DVD to show your group there, it's exciting. That is the fastest way to move forward. It is launching your business, not just starting your business. In fact, I could just stop here and tell everybody this is the only thing that we do, and if everybody did this one particular exposure method, you would all grow in a huge way, massively. But let's go on. There are other ways, because sometimes people don't live near you. You may have relatives, and you probably do, and friends all over the United States and maybe Canada. We conduct private conference calls, and we have recorded overview numbers that have sizzle call recordings on them. So let me define these two. You can have a private conference call. Again, coordinate this with the person, your success coach, whoever's working with you, where you simply, especially for all the people that are out of town, you can set up a time, maybe Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you can give everybody a conference call number, and you can get your free one, your own free conference call number at www.freeconferencecall.com, freeconferencecall.com, and you simply set this up, coordinate it with someone who's going to be doing the presentation for you on the call, your upline support executive director or director, and you invite dozens and dozens and dozens of people to dial in at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon or whenever you set it up. Everybody dials in at the same time. Everybody's in this big conference call that you're listening to everybody dial in and say, hello, this is my name. I'm from, I'm Theresa AuCoin. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. Ask everybody to identify themselves. And you introduce your success coach, and that's about all you do. And that person is going to give them a private overview of the membership and of the business opportunity and move everybody forward. And so that works great for people who are long distance. And by the way, if you, in between all of those, we have recorded overviews and sizzle call numbers. And again, you need to get those numbers from your upline support team that actually are up 24/7, that you could three-way someone in, or you could simply ask somebody to listen to it. And again, that's a way for them to get a complete overview. Now, some of them are short, so it's a good introduction, and they just simply work. We use them all the time. And then we have websites and webinars. This is a very popular way to get the information out. The websites that we are currently using, that may change as time goes on, so you need to get with the person who you're working with, your upline support system and leaders, to give you those websites and the webinar information that may or may not be going on in the next 24, 48 hours. But those are fabulous, because when you send somebody to a website or a webinar, it's like they're sitting in a business briefing, but they're at home or at work, and they're getting the complete information package right there in front of their own computer. And then we have DVDs and CDs. The DVD CD is actually one and the same. The silver side up is a CD, the gold side up is a DVD. And right now we're using private business reception, and these are updated periodically. But I want you to know That's the number one tool that we use to grow the business. And when you hand it to someone, for goodness sakes, tell them it's a CD and a DVD, because you want them to put that CD side in their car on the way home from wherever they are. If you just met them over coffee or you're at work with them or whatever, you tell them to put that CD side in their car and listen to it on the way home or to their next destination. Because that, once they listen to that, you don't have to worry about them watching the DVD. They're going to want to watch the DVD. And the DVD has several options on it. The private business reception is probably the most complete explanation of everything. But there's Justice for All. That's my favorite for giving company credibility. The first 10 minutes of that is something I like for everybody to see, if not the whole Justice for All. So be sure you review these yourself so you know all about what's on the particular material that you're giving someone. And by the way, if you decide to mail one of those to someone, do not include a letter, do not include a brochure. The only thing I want you to include is a sticky note that says something like, "Hey George, can't wait for you to watch this and talk to you about it, Theresa." I mean, just something very simple that's going to get their attention, get their curiosity up, and that is going to make them watch it more than anything else. If you put a letter in there, explanation letter, I used to do this, they read the letter and they never look at the tool. So don't do that. You want them to look at it. And remember the objective? To have your prospect get a complete exposure. And then we have live company overviews or business briefings. And that is where everything happens. I mean, that is the heartbeat of the whole company. These go on a weekly basis in every major city across the United States and every major province of Canada. We are having a live open house or a business briefing every week, and that is especially for two reasons. Number one, for you to bring your guests to. And a lot of times after your prospect has seen, for example, a website, or they've watched something, part of the DVD, the next step for them is usually to get more information. And if you can get them to a live event, especially after they have had some initial information, I'm telling you, it's a slam dunk. When they get to that live company overview, it's exciting. They get to meet the people that are around, in their own city. They get to meet the local prepaid legal family, and they'll see how positive the environment is. They'll see how upbeat it is, and they'll also get to see the complete PowerPoint presentation. That is really where things get culminated and where people really get locked into the business and really understand the big picture on a local basis. Last but not least, I want to mention Luncheons. Now, Luncheons, I think, are the easiest way to build your business. Most people are going to go eat lunch somewhere. And when you offer to treat somebody to lunch, "Hey, George, can I meet you for lunch tomorrow? I've got something important I want to show you." My treat. I mean, it is hard for people to turn that down. I know in Little Charleston, South Carolina, we have 3 luncheons every week, and they're awesome. Every time we have a luncheon, people sign up. People, really get excited about the opportunity. So take advantage of those going on in your marketplace. Those are really, I'm telling you, some of the easiest ways to build a business. And I do want to mention, I didn't put it up here, but I do want to mention sit-downs. Sit-downs are where you get with a prospect and you are using a tool like your laptop and the DVD in it, or you're having a third party there with you like your upline success coach. Sit down with the person when you can't get to any of these other things. You're kind of in between these other things. To me, the sit downs are great fillers. For example, if you are talking to somebody today and there's not a business briefing until 6 days from now or 7 days from now, and they can't go to the one tonight maybe, or it's just going to be a while before they can get to one of those, and maybe they don't have access to the web. Just a great way to keep things moving quickly is to make those sit-down appointments happen in between everything else. So that's something else that you want to add to your exposure methods. So we've gone over the different ways to expose the business here, and I want you to know that the more you use these systems that are in place, the easier and the quicker your business is going to grow. So I can't wait to give you a little more information on really how to follow up on people after after you've created an exposure with them. But for right now, I just want you to concentrate on how are you going to get information to every single one of the people that are on your list. Let's do it quickly. Let's do it efficiently, and be excited about it because you have an exciting future here. All right.